Could you say your name, age, diagnosis, and age of diagnosis?
Yeah. I'm Nikki Redmond. I'm 20 years old. I have Crohn's disease, and I was diagnosed when I was 13 years old.
I'm Drake Sakiro. I am 22 years old, and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 16 years old.
My name is Catalina. I have Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed when I was 10, and I'm currently 19.
My name is Julia Matos. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease on March 1st, 2016, when I was 19.
My name is Alex Jofried. I am 21 years old. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 9.
Especially at the beginning, I was really reluctant to talk about IBD. It's definitely hard when you're younger, and bathroom jokes are really common.
Especially when I was first diagnosed, I thought it was embarrassing to talk about, the fact that my colon was inflamed.
When I was little, I was very reluctant to talk about IBD just because I was in middle school and I was so young, and no one really my age wanted to talk about things of that nature.
I was diagnosed at 9 in the 4th grade, and I didn't open up about my IBD until 9th grade when my band director told my entire band of 175 people that I had Crohn's disease, and so it went from one person that I'd told to 175 kids.
I talk about my IBD to my friends mostly.
The person I talk to the most about my IBD would definitely be my brother. He was diagnosed with Crohn's disease about 2 years after I was.
So I talk to everybody about my IBD, whoever really will listen and whoever will let me open my mouth, which I like to do a lot. That means friends, family, strangers on the street, people who are in my way when I have to go to the bathroom.
I talk to a lot of people about my IBD just because, honestly, I've kind of turned it into, it's part of me, so it's kind of a conversational piece. Like, it always seems like it kind of comes up that, hey, I'm Drake, I have IBD. It's important to talk about IBD because there are a lot of people really struggling with IBD, and not a lot of people know about it. And where it's an invisible illness, I don't think it gets the attention it deserves. But there are a lot of people out there that are, battling just to live normal lives, and some people are out there battling for their lives.
I think it's really important to talk about IBD because it's really hard to work through things on your own and inside your head. It's really awesome to have someone to talk through things and just get some advice.
It's important to talk about IBD just to educate people and to raise awareness. I feel like people may have heard of IBD, or they know someone with Crohn's, or they know someone with colitis, but they don't know about the condition and the real struggles of a patient.
Mental health has greatly affected my IBD. I used to have symptoms of depression, anxiety, especially when I was first diagnosed.
I think overall IBD has made me more mentally tough, and with that it's translated into other parts of my life, such as running and in the classroom and things like that. But at the same time, my disease can really tear me down when I'm going through a bad stage or when I have a flare or something like that.
So mental health affects my IBD in a couple different ways. Sometimes I'll get stressed out about having a flare, so that'll cause me to have more of a flare.
So sometimes I stress myself out so much that I actually have my symptoms come back. I've also suffered symptoms of anxiety and depression, as have like 40% of IBD patients, or some statistic like that.
Especially with body image. When I first got my ostomy, I was really reluctant to wearing a bathing suit to the beach or to the pool and hanging out with my friends.
When I'm feeling bad physically, I feel worse mentally, and vice versa. So I think it's played a huge role in my disease.
When you have something as stressful as IBD, you're going to cry a lot. And so something like that's going to affect you emotionally is going to affect your everyday life. Some days you just don't want to get up in the morning. You cry yourself to sleep simply out of pain or out of the emotions of the day, whether it was, oh, I went to the bathroom and I did not make the bathroom, and that feel of whatever, not making it destroyed your day, and those emotions ride up and down based on your disease.
I've been going to a therapist for the past semester, given all the surgeries that I had last year, and it's been really helpful to help my symptoms of anxiety and depression.
I have a therapist who specializes in treating people with chronic illnesses. I see her about once or twice a month. She's super cool. I like her a lot.
So I have talked to someone professionally. I was diagnosed with an anxiety depression disorder. It wasn't like chronic or anything, but at the same time I did see a psychologist during that time, and I did find it to be extremely helpful.
I have talked to someone professionally regarding my IBD. I started a few months after I was diagnosed, and I still do to this day.
Having IBD is not the end of the world. A lot of people live very happy and normal lives with the disease, and it's not easy, but you can get to that point for sure. And with that, I hope along the way, as you get back to a normal life, that you start learning to talk about your disease and you start thinking about, I'm not in this alone.
Finding a friend or someone who you know who has IBD is really a good resource because they can offer you a lot of support.
I would definitely tell anyone who's newly diagnosed with IBD to just talk about it. Talk to anyone who will listen, because the more you talk about it, the more comfortable you get with yourself and with your diagnosis.
There's going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the day, there's people who will have your back. There's people who understand what you're going through.
I lost 5 years of my diagnosis time from 4th grade to 9th grade where I didn't talk about it. I hid myself, and I had nobody to talk to about my disease, and those days were rough. And to me, those days are wasted time. And my advice to everyone is that don't waste that time. Tell somebody about your IBD because it's going to make you that much better.
Yes. My name is Catalina, and I have Crohn's disease.
My name is Bianca, and I have Crohn's.
I'm Julia Matos, and I have Crohn's disease.